Hello and welcome back to Will You Adventure. I'm Angelique Meadow, Willpower Guru, and we are here with the esteemed Hari Kirin.
Welcome, come on in. I'm so happy to see you at my studio. So this is the village of Harrisville, New Hampshire. We're at 9 Mill Alley. If you ever want to come and visit me, you can just go to artandyoga.com or harikirin.com and send me a message, and I'll make sure that I'm here. As you enter the studio, you can see some of my supplies. I work in Sumi ink, milk paint, and also oil paint. This mill has been here since before the Civil War, so there's a lot of history of good making, good hard-working people. They were making wool for clothing, and I'm making paintings. In this painting, the woman is watching a flood. And she's actually very calm and almost numb, separate from like the power of nature. And so I've been thinking a lot about how we feel separate from this bigger body, the earth that we are, yeah. And like trying to sort out that riddle as I'm painting. This is has a similar impetus. This painting is called Endless Night, and in it I'm having a fantasy of what it would be like if the earth was just in darkness. In this case, it's not cold, and she feels to me like she's really feeling her animal body, which is why I didn't give her facial features. I wanted to paint her as simply as I painted the water, like with as little detail as I painted the water or the night sky. I think I was thinking also about writing and language falling apart at that time with these lines, because I was imagining that she was the last woman and she was on earth and it was dark and there wasn't anyone to talk to, so she forgot how to speak. So this is the same series, and but a little bit earlier, maybe just 1 year earlier. This is when this idea was first coming in, to think about what it would be like to be the last human. And in this one, I tried to express it by having the paint be kind of chaotic, you know, and rough, to try to say, things are changing, things are falling apart. There's some alchemical process going on here that, and I felt like nature, in this, the threat of nature just leaving us and going on without us, like the heron just leaving and going on without us, and or that the human might be a parasite, you know, to be shook off if we can't feel that creative wisdom to participate. All of these paintings are, as you said, like a single figure in the landscape, and it's really like me standing there painting, trying to feel myself just on an equal place with that tree. And so I've tried to paint the figures so that they have no more detail or feeling than the trees do. This one would be the same. I think I even got more expression in the birch trees than in the person. Yeah. And this one is also very early on, and you can feel she's swimming for her life in some kind of wild weather. And I feel that this is not only talking apocalyptically about nature, but also just emotionally how we're feeling. You know, that when we feel out of sync with nature, that we don't feel safe, and we can't access our wisdom. I'm trying to paint the figure as simply as I painted the trees. And in this case, you see this a lot in New England, you know, where we live. When the water comes in places that haven't been watery, the trees die. So this is the feeling of being in a place where those tree spirits are not the spring, flowering, beautiful tree spirit, but kind of over-soaked and dry, you know, not being able to be healthy. I always think, I mean, I'm talking now about what I think they mean, but I always think they mean more than what I think they mean. They really mean what you think they mean when whoever looks at them, has a relationship with them, has their own story. And I think here's just the right thing that is no more accurate, it doesn't have any more authority than what I thought was happening when I looked at it. You know, I think all views are equal. And the art kind of, it's an act that completes itself when someone sees it. Yeah.
Well said. It sounds like a prescription, and one gets whatever medicine it is that they need to receive.
Yeah. That takes a lot of trust, you know.
Really?
I think so, because in life we can like experience what's happening and trust that this is just what's supposed to be happening, right? This is the medicine I need. This is the messenger I need. This is the message I need.
Or the mess that you need.
Or the mess that I need, right? This is the compost that I need, whatever it is, you know. This is the falling apart that I need. That's so, or we can think there's something terribly wrong, or I'm not getting this right. And unfortunately, I think some people don't like looking at art, because, especially contemporary art, because they feel confused and they think they're wrong. They don't get it, you know, that they didn't have the right thought about it. But I think that's a failure in how we have educated people to engage with culture, because it is that thing that it doesn't say the same thing to any one person. And no person should have the authority to say this is what it should say to everyone. Or just as no person should have the authority to say this is the only way to live a life, right? Or the only way to find your power, or find your source, or find your joy in your life, find your path. You're the only person who can do that. And so I would hope that looking at art gives people the authority to believe, to trust in what they see. Yeah.
Well said. It's a beautiful education in what art can provide each and every one of us.
Yeah.
If we could just receive each other as art, walking, living pieces of art, what a different world it would be.
Yeah.
Don't you just want to live in her space? I do.
Find more great adventures. Follow @WillYouAdventure on YouTube and Facebook.